Hey there, welcome to NZ Money Karma, where you can find freedom from the daily grind through budgeting, simple living and adventure. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate everyone who's turning up to hear about my day and do a little bit of cash stuffing. I think in the interests of authenticity, I just have to let you guys know that today I am struggling. I'm very, very tired. I haven't had a day off in 2 weeks and I'm absolutely knackered. And I was just about to sit down to do my second job, which is a job I do from home. And my husband said, why don't you just take a break and do your cash stuffing and do something that you enjoy. And I felt kind of like I haven't really done much of what I enjoy for a while. So that was cool to do, and also I think he wants some money in his envelope. That might have been his other motivation, because I've got 2 weeks worth of money here, because I just haven't managed to do it. I just feel like every day I'm kind of going from 5:30 in the morning till about 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night, and by then I'm so knackered I just need to get into bed so that I can get up the next day for my 5:30 wake up call. I'm going to get straight on with it. It's getting dark. You'll see there's a bit of shadow on my table, so I'm sorry about that. But I've thought often about doing this video over the last wee bit, and I can never manage it. A, because I kind of feel a bit knackered at the moment, but B, because by the time I actually sit down when I feel like I could do it, it's dark and there's just massive shadow. So I want to get in here quickly before it's too bad. So just to start off with, let's get these done. I'm going to start off with me. So remember, this is 2 weeks worth of stuff, and I'm actually going to take a 50, and that's because I am saving up to go and get my hair done. We've actually booked a holiday, and I'd like to have my hair done before we go away, so that's going in there. I have spent money from here over the last couple of weeks though, and to be honest, I've just been trying to make my life a little bit easier, and sometimes it's buying something for convenience, and that has normally been food. So not ideal, but it was kind of keeping me afloat. And my husband, I'll give him 50 in there as well. Now the Kai envelope is completely empty. I was saving up to do a big monthly shop. I think we're 3 weeks into it. And my husband just decided today to go and, go and do a grocery shop. So that's cool. He's taken whatever was in there and he's spent it. And I have to say, I really don't mind at all, because at least it's done now. And that's kind of cool. So there's $200. That's going to go in there, and that's because it's 2 weeks worth of money that I'm dealing with. And then lastly is the kids' pocket money, and I'll give them $10 each. Same deal, because it's 2 weeks. Now, the last time I posted a video about this stuff was about pocket money, was to ask kind of what you do, and thanks for those people who did reply and kind of let me know what they're doing. And on reflection, I just thought, okay, maybe we're being a bit mean with the kids and not really being as generous as we could be. So I've said to the kids, okay, I'm happy to consider paying you more pocket money, but you will need to kind of up your game around here and do something for that. So come to me with some ideas about how you could add value, and then we'll talk about how much, I'm willing to pay you. So that's with them at the moment, so I'm just going to wait for them to come back. Okie doke, so we're into bikes. There's only $5 in there at the moment, so I'm going to put in 20. I also haven't done a budget. I don't know if it's going to be a terrible idea. We'll see at the end. If there's no money, then I will think it's a terrible idea, but if there is money, then I might think, oh, doing it on the fly works out okay. So clothes, I'm actually going to put 50 in there because I'd like to get my son a school jacket. I don't know if he needs one, but if he needs one, I want to be able to get him one. And my daughter needs some socks for sports, and into general, I'll just put 20. It's kind of nice having these big, doing a bi-weekly cash stuff. Might be my new thing, I don't know. I enjoy talking to you guys every week though, so we'll just see how we go. My husband's used the shuttle money, and we've put $50 worth of petrol in our neighbour's car, who we borrow that car not every week, but every now and then. But we like to be generous with kind of how we chip in, because it's really nice that he lends it to us, and it makes our life a lot easier being a car-free family if we can use a car on occasion, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put in $60 into shuttle. That's my last lot of 20s, and once I've got enough for his shuttle, then that's when I start putting money back into car hire. And the old kids, they've been expensive this week. Oh, crikey. So what have I got there? I've got 25 for uni, and I just want to have some extra change, so I'm going to put in 50. That might be being too generous. Oh, that's got a bit of a rip. I need to remember to do something about that so it doesn't rip off completely. Now, grading, the kids have done their grading and I've paid for it, and that was $80. So I need to take this and put that there. Give 20 change. So that's got 45 in it. And I will change that for a 50. So that's my contribution as well. So just $5 towards that this week. And then the $80, I will put that into school uniform and fees, because I actually paid for that online. So that will kind of even it up. So that would be 80 plus this week's 90 plus the other week's 90. So 90, 90, 180 plus another 80, 260. So let's see, 1, 2, 50, 60. Oops. Okie doke, let's see where I'm at. Yay, it's nice to count up a stack of cash. Hopefully I'm at 1,000, because I feel like I'm a couple of weeks behind in that goal, and that really I should have 2,000 in the bank already. Cool, so there's 1,000, yay. So that can go back to the bank. Pop that in that corner, maybe not by the 50s, so I don't accidentally start thinking I've got that to stuff. And there we go, so I've got 50 here, so I'll again give myself just a little bit more change and do the 50. So now I've got 70 in school fees. Okie doke. I've just done my online banking as well, because I hadn't paid any bills, and oh my gosh, I don't want to be a moaner, and normally I'm really organised, but I am letting balls drop left, right and centre at the moment. I got an overdrawn, it's not a fee, but just a thing where they say, oh, you know, we've been trying to take this money out of your account and there's no money in there. So that was for the kids investment fund. I hadn't transferred any money into the account that money comes out of. So I don't know how many days I'd been getting that message before I actually read it and did something. I made a KiwiSaver contribution from my kind of side hustle job just to top that up. And I accidentally did it as a direct debit. So then that charged me a direct debit setup fee at my bank. So then I had to write to them and say, you know, in the interest of goodwill, can you please refund this money, because I didn't realise there was a fee. Which they've done. So I would definitely encourage you, if you ever get a bank fee, just to go back to them and say, can you please reverse that? I would really appreciate it, and see what they say. So yeah, those are my balls that I've been trying to juggle, and they're all falling. But I feel like I only have to keep this up till July. So it's not that much longer to go. Like, you know, I'm over halfway through this kind of mad period that I've created for myself. But yeah, the last couple of days I've definitely had that feeling of crikey, I'm not managing very well. You know, like I kind of look at what we're having for dinner and think, oh my goodness, there's not enough vegetables on this plate. Or it's 9:30 at night and I'm still trying to bake something for morning tea the next day. You know, like I'm just not as onto it as I would be normally. And I think that's mostly because, A, I'm working a lot, yes, but also my roster is like all over the show, and it makes it hard to get into a good pattern and a good routine. But I am committed to doing better, and so I'm going to have an early night tonight and then start afresh tomorrow and see how I go. You'll know if I've gone all right because I'll be here next week. If not, I might be MIA for a while. So into house, I'm going to put 50, and I have just put money into the house account online as well. And tech, I got a freezer. I was so super stoked. The meat arrived this week, and I again had kind of forgotten all about everything and was, you know, that was just another ball I had dropped. It's like, oh, the meat's arriving, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I haven't bought myself or the family a freezer. So I quickly jumped on Trade Me, and you know, just like when something's a bit serendipitous, a standing freezer, so not a chest freezer, but a standing up one, so it looks like a fridge, but only it's a freezer with all the different drawers in it, had just been listed for $200 by now, and it was in really good nick, but just too small for the people who were selling it. So I just pushed buy now. I got it, $200. We went and picked it up in my neighbour's car and put in some petrol, and what was remaining from that money is $65. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to put in 20 today. So now I've got 80, and I think the next thing that we're going to need is probably some kind of camera, or, you know, something techy. I think of tech as anything that has a plug in it pretty much, but it'll probably be more like computer techy kind of related next time. So I think that's that one done. You'll see I've got an extra binder here today. I'll tell you about that in a wee bit. So anyway, that's enough about me, I guess. How are you guys going? Have you had a good week? Any tips and tricks for a busy working mum? I'd love to hear them. I'm always keen to hear people's ideas, and I'm always open to, you know, kind of doing things differently and learning and what have you. So yeah, I'd just love to hear if you have some great ideas for me. Okay, so filling, I've only got 25 in there. Actually, I might just make that 50. And then medical dental has only got 10. What have I got left there? Just 100. Oh well, it's pretty important, I guess, so let's just make that 50 as well. And then the other ones are sorted, so I shall worry about them later. Well, the other ones are sorted, so I don't need to worry about them at all, do I? Another week or so and I will have my dermatology appointment, so fingers crossed that goes all smoothly. Okay, so I've got $5 in eating out and $40 in tickets and sports. So again, I'm just doing this mostly, I'm coming up with these very random numbers just to make the cash work. There we go, and I'll put 50 in here, and I'll put 20 into the eating out, so really 15. And I've got giving for Rapso the elephant, so I've got 95. And that needs to be 100. Oops. So chuck it away. There you go. Gifts. Now we do have a family birthday. I don't know if you remember ages ago I bought that nice diary as a family gift, but I have to buy another book to go with it. My intention was to buy a cycle touring book or something like that to go with the diary. So I probably have to go to a bookshop in town and find, you know, like a nice Lonely Planet cycle tour something that will kind of I don't know if bulk up that present is the right word, but you know, kind of make it seem like the kind of gift that I want to be complete. Okay, so I've got 50 there on birthday too. I'll put in 20. And then I've got here for Christmas, I've got 105. And I'm just, I don't know, I feel like there's lots of money left over there, so I'm just going to put in 140. Do you guys ever have like that feeling of being overwhelmed, where you just kind of look around and you're like, oh my goodness? And I feel a little bit it's related to just, I don't know, having big goals. Like, well, they don't even have to be big, I guess. You know, like when you have a goal that's just a bit bigger than what you normally would achieve. So everyone, like everyone's goals will be different, and what one person achieves will be different from another. So just that feeling of like, you know, maybe you've bitten off a bit more than you can chew, or I'd say my parents would have told me something like, you've got ideas above your station. I heard that a lot growing up. You've got ideas above your station. You want a princess life on a pauper's budget, this kind of thing. You know, I guess it kind of gives you the idea of like, oh, well, there's a limit to what you can achieve. And I don't think that was their intention, but that's kind of the message. And as an adult, I've just gone like, you can do whatever you like, you know, like you can't always do it right then. But if you work hard and you're focused and you keep with that goal, you will always get there. I am absolutely a firm believer in that. But it's just the time frame that it might take. And, you know, I really was weighing up this week thinking, oh my goodness, is it worth it? Is this big goal to retire early worth this effort? So it's going to be 2 years of, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to have dark circles under my eyes for 2 years. And I want to try and adjust this. I do want to get better at managing myself over this time, but it's going to be hard. I know that. But is it going to be worth it? And I'll essentially be buying back 15 years of working life. Will it be worth it for 2 years of extremely hard work to get 15 years where I don't have to work? I don't know. I think it is. I still think it is, because I'm very, you know, I'm not far into it. But gosh, I hope I don't look back in 2 years and think, oh my goodness, you should have just relaxed and, you know, don't do your part-time job and not kind of worry too much about it. Okay, so I've got the vet and I've got a dog groom. So I've got 35. Let's give him another 20. So now I've got 55. And in the vet, I'm not really wanting to put in tons of money. I am mostly just wanting to kind of keep it ticking along so that it builds up over time. So that's got 70. Actually, I could probably have kept a 5 in there. Let's make it 175. You know, I could get to the end of the year if the dog hasn't had to go to the vet. There could be $500 in there, and that would be well and truly enough for a year's worth of, you know, vet, if that makes sense. So if I can bulk these sinking funds up a wee bit, you know, the more the better really, isn't it? I'm probably going to have to go back and add in some extra because there seems to be a lot of money left over. So there I've got 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Oh, I've got 100. Whew, that's pretty good. Can't complain about that, can I? So maybe, let's look in here. So this is my daughter's cash binder, cash budget binder. It's a cool kind of felt one. I did try and sell them for a little while, but they didn't really take off, so I stopped. But they're very cute, and I like them. They're really lightweight. But she's made herself something for storing her money in. And that's all right. So she was like, oh, I don't want this anymore. And I thought, oh, well, I'll take it. It will make my life a bit easier. So this has just got all the challenges in it. So the good thing about having a hundy left over is that I'm going to be able to do some of these. So let's have a look. I don't know exactly what I've got. What are these two? So this week, in an ideal world, I would put in $21. So So if I put that in, but I don't have change for $21, I don't think. But I do have change for $24. So I'm going to put in $24 into this. And then I will give myself $1 change. So that's there. So I just need to cross that off. I will pop that in there so I don't forget which one I'm doing. I only have 3 challenges. That one there can be almost anything, can't it? So I'm not going to worry too much about that at the moment. This one here, I've got 23, 22, 21, 19 and 18. So if I do 10, 20, 30, 40, then I can get rid of, well, I'm kind of tempted just to put in an extra 5 and then get rid of those ones. 45. Look at me go. I desperately just want to I feel like I've got nothing complete at the moment in any area of my life. So the idea of finishing these challenges is really motivating to me, and I've only got 3 weeks left on that one. So that will be really cool to get that over and done with. These are my daughter's cute labels. She made these, spending, presents, and she even made an emergency one. I don't know what she would imagine was emergency, and savings. So yeah, she's very organised, and yeah, she's not at all unlike me as I was as a child. You know, I had money boxes and stuff, but she's right into making sure she's got what she needs when she needs it. And this one here, what have I got? 10, 20, so I've got $30 left over. So my question is, do I want to put it all into this, or do I want to try and knock another one off here? If I put in 20, no, actually, I'll put in 8. I'm going to do 18 also, and that gives me just 2 weeks. And that is, I don't know, that kind of feels like the sort of win I need at the moment to make it all feel worthwhile. Even though it's small. I don't know if you guys do that with money, but you know, just like a win is a win, isn't it? No matter where you're getting it from, a win feels good. So I'll put my $2 there. And I'll stick this in there too. Oh, well, I know next week when I need some 5s, what envelope I need to come to first before I do my cash stuffing to sort it out. Okie doke, and then my very last one is this savings challenge, and I've got $10 left over here, so I can either do 2 5s or a 10, and I do also have $3, so I've got 12 in total. I'm going to do a 10 and a 2 and get that done, so that I also have to mark off camera. And then that leaves me $1 here. So I've got just $1 and I had 60 cents. So I'm just going to cross off the dollar. So here I've got a 10 and a 2. It'll be interesting when I count these up at the end of the year if they actually do tally up or if I've completely mucked them up. And this one here I was doing 24, right? So I'm not halfway through the year, but I'm not far off. So I guess I'm going to need to actually really work hard on this one because this has got some very big numbers. Someone did give me a really good idea though, and thank you so much for doing this. It was a way to make the savings challenge work when you don't have a huge income, but you take a savings challenge like this, and instead of going 52, you go 5 plus 2, 4 plus 1 instead of 41, that kind of thing. And I thought that's actually a good option for me because I don't know if my chances of having, this is quite a few $100s on the side, and I'm just not sure if I'm going to be able to do it. So I'm going to try, but if it's really not looking likely, I'm not going to sit there and beat myself up over it. And I'm also going to not have less grocery money so that I can do this, because we really need to make sure we have good quality food in our cupboards, because that will keep us healthy when we're all working so hard. So that's an idea for this one as well, if it just gets a bit too, kind of like, I changed this one, it was meant to be all 10s, and then I changed one from 10, 5 and 2. And that's working fine. Like it's, at the end of the day, it's all going to result in money that I otherwise wasn't planning to have. And it's all going to be here. So that's pretty cool. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for being here. I'm relieved to have got this video done, and hopefully after tea I'll be able to get it up. Keep your fingers crossed for me. I hope you guys are having a smoother week than I am, or you feel like you're a little bit more on top of life than I am at the moment. I think it's one of those things with YouTube, like we can jump on here and pretend that everything's always awesome, but that's not life. Some days we leave for work in the dark and then we want to try and do our nice thing and it's dark again. That's just life. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes you're about to bake something, for example, and you drop the last egg on the floor. Yes, that has happened. Like this is what's kind of happening to me all this week. I'm just like, oh my goodness, give me a break, someone, please. But I feel so much happier having had a chat with you guys. And I hope this video finds you in a good space. And yeah, really rocking your goals and getting ahead. So if you've got any questions or comments, please pop them in the section below. If you've got time, I'd love to hear from you, or a quick thumbs up is also really affirming. I'll see you guys next week. Fingers crossed. Bye for now.